we've got a motion. I'll second that motion. Any further discussions? Any further nominations? We'll close nominations. I guess we'll keep them the same as we had last year. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Okay, in the absence of our attorney, Matt Rentschler, is Matt here right now? We'll put him later if he comes in.
Okay.
Scott Wagner, discussion of the Carl Downing Coessie House.
For the benefit of our new member, we had Plessy installed sewer last year, about 7 different locations. And Mr. Downing had another property there who was the owner at the time when the mom passed away. Been having flooding in his basement, and come to find out, we told him that if he could prove the problem was our problem, then we'd reimburse him for that. He hired several companies, which we've all received the bills on that, and found out that looks like Crosby, who was the excavator, cut the line, didn't complete the connection, and so he's heading back up in his basement. Had a camera done to see whether what was going on. We did see that there's limestone blocking the access for the tile. So here are the 3 bills that Mr. Downing submitted to the county in order for us to reimburse him for that. Also, I was in contact with Mike Wygen of Career Earth Excavating. He was hired by Mr. Downing to look at his tile issue, and so we got a hold of him, and last week, and GAI Consultants, who were the lead on the project, just got back to him today. Mr. Wygen is going to Indianapolis. He did send me a text with what he would charge the county. And I can read that text for you if you'd like.
Yeah, why don't we put it in the records?
He will get us a paper copy that when he gets back to town.
All right.
Saw, cut, and dig up 6-inch storm drain and connect to 4-inch clay with 6-inch SDR 35. Bed pipe with number 9 limestone and filled to asphalt with 73 limestone. No asphalt patch included. $1,500.
Okay.
So he'll get us a paper copy of that, just so the highway knows that we'd have to patch that.
Okay.
His big concern was that Crosby put the new storm pipe that we replaced at the same elevation as the other one. Otherwise, it would be difficult to connect an existing outlet if it was a different elevation. Assuming that everything will connect correctly and won't have any issues. That paper to you when he brings it, that way we have something to sign.
Okay, I think for today, I'd like to deal with this part here. And for the audience that's here, we are going to have to, per our agreement, we stuck our neck out and said, well, prove it was our fault and we'll reimburse you. Well, he did. He did. Got to give him credit. So we are about to reimburse him. However, it's not necessarily going to be your tax money, because we hired a firm to GAI Consultants, and it was their responsibility to have an on-site supervisor. So we believe that they're the ones ultimately that are going to have to, it wouldn't even be Crosby's fault, the working people. It should have been, supervisor should have been there and saw what happened. So that's a little background on this. So at this time, I'd make a motion that I'm not gonna include in the motion where the money's coming from, because that kind of remains to be seen. But right now, we need to reimburse Mr. Downing $548.71. So that's my motion.
Second motion. We've got a second. Any further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you, Scott. Nathan Bilger, Planning and Building Director.
should have a copy of a rezoning ordinance that went out in the packets. This is a zoning request, rezoning request for the former Quick Mart location up on Tri Lakes. Currently it's zoned GC, General Commercial, obviously because it's been used as commercial. However, it has always had an apartment above on the second floor. As you probably already know, the Quick Mart closed last year, and the property owner, who is in the audience, if you have any questions for her, has been trying to sell the property since then. What she's run into have been potential buyers wanting to buy it for the residential component. Unfortunately, because of the zoning, lenders are not really able to lend for a residential purchase for a property that's zoned and used for commercial. So the request was to rezone it from GC General Commercial to LR Lake Residential. Was before the Plan Commission 2 weeks ago. They forwarded a favorable recommendation for that. For further information, General Commercial does allow single-family homes as a permitted use, as well as all the commercial components. LR, Lake Residential, obviously allows residential as permitted uses, but it still also allows by special exception quite a few different commercial uses, including a convenience store. So if someone did want to continue the convenience store, they could purchase it even as LR, and at worst, go through a special exception appeal process in order to continue it. There's also grandfathering, so there's some period of time in there as well. Again, Plan Commission forwarded a favorable recommendation. If you've got questions for me or the petitioner, we're here.
Since they're in the audience, they have anything they'd like to add or anything?
No, it's just that people aren't able to get a residential loan against a commercial. And it's just, they're not able to get it right.
Any further discussion?
I'm waiting on the new commissioner to make a motion.
Do we have a motion?
He needs his first motion.
Ordinance 2017-01.
Well, since the planning commission already approved it, I'm going to vote yay on their approval.
And this will be ordinance number 2017-01.
Okay. 01, that means the first of the year, doesn't it?
That's right.
Done it. And whatever he said, I second.
Okay, we got a motion, we've got a second. Any further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you.
Thank you.
Got your name on it, everybody.
We're going too quick through these.
Sorry out there.
Okay, next on the agenda, we've got Brandon Forrester. Before we do that, Mark, did you have something, or Jody?
Yeah,
Mark?
back for the diesel tank out back. Last one.
Has anything been done on that at all?
Several attempts, we have quotes.
Well, come up here.
Come up here and have a seat so we can hear it.
Don't be bashful.
Thanks, sir.
Last month I came and spoke about the issues we were having with the rod jam. I have my key back.
That's, I can make more. Go ahead, have a seat. We can get more.
So I've made several calls to a company in Fort Wayne, talked to Mark Sturdivant with what he thought might be options. Gasoline Equipment is the only company that has contacted us back and gave a quote. The quote, as you can see on the second page, there is $46,163. barring that there is no contaminated soil next to the tank that's in there now. Sean, do you know the exact date we have to respond to by?
George, I believe they gave you the.
December 12th.
We have to
Okay, was
just-
it?
I just need to notify IDEM.
Or no, January 12th. December 12th
Was
is when
the-
we got the letter, the violation letter. So it'd be January 12th is when we have to let them know by. I was gonna check with you to see if,
Yeah, he called me back. He was on vacation last week when I tried to call him. And he called me back, so I'll get a hold of him again this week and let him know that we're moving forward and what we need to do to be in compliance. We don't have to have it done right now, but we have to be moving forward with it to not violate their orders.
okay.
I also called and checked in, talked to 2 different people, and was supposed to get back with a third, an engineer. Never received a call back on converting it over to natural gas or LP. The first 2 I talked to, gave them the generator model, what type it was, and they didn't have an answer for me, so.
So do you want to have approval from the commissioners so you can take that to council tomorrow? We're gonna have to do something.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to you guys. I mean, we have another week. I'd have to ask for a special meeting, but we've reached out. Like I said, I checked with Mark Sturdivant. Sean's tried some other people, and this is the only quote we could get in to do that work.
What, the only question I got, what is the reason they're putting it back underground?
Because it's a new double-walled tank. They said with the space was already open, that's where they'd be best to go back under.
I asked about an above-ground tank, and with the proximity of the building and where it would have to go, it has to be a concrete enclosed above-ground tank, a fire guard tank, I believe is what it was called, and it was gonna be even more than what this quote was. I think it was roughly $50,000 for just the tank install above ground, not including removing the old tank.
One thing we don't want to lose track of here, or lose sight of, is if they go to pull that tank and there's any ground contamination, we got another big bill. I don't know if it's a big bill, really. I mean, what I've had to see them in the past do is take that material to an approved landfill and then bring in new stuff. So I don't know that it would break the project at all.
Still an additional cost.
Still an additional cost, so I guess today, all the thing we can deal with is the quote for the new one, right?
Right, or like last month I talked, there's that Impress current system that's around 15,000 with no guarantees it'll bring the numbers in compliance.
This is a 1,000-gallon, okay.
Is that a 1,000-gallon tank that's in there now?
There's a 2,000 gallon tank in there right now.
It's a 2,000-gallon tank now, but with the numbers, we only use roughly 9.5 gallons an hour when it's running. So a 1,000-gallon tank, even in a worst-case scenario, will get us by 3 or 4 days. Within there, we should be able to get a delivery of diesel.
You know, I think this price is ridiculous high, but it's the only bid we got. So what else, what's our other choices?
At this point.
Fight IDM?
No, that don't
That's
work.
not much
That
of a
don't work.
choice, is it?
No, that
The
don't
only
work.
other choice, if you guys would approve, is that we can make more of an effort to reach out. I don't know, put an ad out, something if somebody else wants to bid on it, but this is the people that have managed our tank since it's been there.
Well, along that line, and the thing that I'm concerned about, I was the one who, I thought we ought to look at natural gas. But keep in mind, natural gas, even with natural gas, this tank has to be pulled out of the ground.
Right.
There's no, I mean, this is not gonna hide itself at all. This has to be done. Well, if you gotta pull the tank out of the ground, you might as well put a new tank, especially a double wall. The double wall ought to catch any leak that you might have. I don't know how it works, but obviously there's.
Fiberglass tank, so there, we won't have any monitoring either that we have to do it as a double wall fiberglass.
Oh, because it won't rust. Fiberglass because it won't rust, but it could still crack or something, but, yeah. Well, anyway, this company is well-respected in this part of the state, well-respected. You see gasoline equipment trucks all over the place. I guess, Mr. Chairman, I would make a motion that we send this bid to the council for approval, but they need to know that it may be more if the dirt's contaminated.
For discussion purposes, I'll second it.
Okay, we got a motion, we've got a second. Discussion?
Did you didn't get a price on replacing the generator with the natural gas one?
Nope, never, like I said, I talked to two people, and it was supposed to be passed on to an engineer, and never received that call back.
I would be shocked if the one that you got that's, what, 20 years old?
It's the original.
Original, 20, 30 years old.
Yeah.
I doubt it. Yeah, it can't be. It's probably not going to be able to be changed over. You'd have to replace it. And that'd probably end up costing more than this.
And it's still in what I would consider fairly good shape. I think last time I looked, it's only has around 1,200 hours on it for all those years. It pretty much runs its test. In my time, and I can think in the last 9 or 10 years, we've been on it once for more than an hour. Knock on wood now.
Yeah.
Yeah, last time Mark Sturdivant checked, it was $75,000 for a new one. And that would have been diesel. I'm not sure what the natural gas would be.
Probably not a lot of difference.
Yeah, just,
And the only other thing I have, and it's a concern, and I don't know, maybe it's not today to be spoke with in here, but the way the new claims are gonna be handled, I'm gonna be looking.
Wait a minute, Mark.
Hang on.
We need to
We're
vote
gonna-
on that.
Oh,
Yeah, we
sorry.
yeah. Okay, any further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same? Okay.
There's a couple bills, the way they come in now and the way that the claims are gonna go through now. The sheriff's department's gonna be hit. The ones, the Columbia City Utilities, we're gonna be hit, what, $600-700 a month for a late fee.
Okay, can I tell you something that we haven't talked about since you've been?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, here's what I discovered. Bills in general, all right, are coming into the auditor, straight to the auditor. Now, I assume these bills you're talking about come to the auditor? All right. The thing that has to happen, and you'll be getting an email from the commissioners very soon, okay, is every department, Brandon, this is you, this is every department, needs to go to their vendors, every vendor, and you need to see that any bill you create is sent to 101 West Market Street in care of the sheriff's department. Because what's happening is they come over here, then they have to come over here, then they have to come over here. And we have to stop that vicious chain of back and forth, because that's what's killing us on not getting bills paid timely. So I don't know if that helps you or not, but that's what we're gonna have to do with every department is, you're gonna have to take care of your own bills, contact your vendors, have them sent to your location where you will match up invoices and statements, put them together and get them over here with a claim. And that should be it. They shouldn't bounce back and forth, so.
I guess I should refer to Jody and Jenna. Will we make it, or are we gonna get a late
No,
charge?
respectfully, that, the issue, especially with the city utilities, is they don't even generate their bills until the 1st of the month. They're due the 20th of the month. If they're paid on the 21st, there's late fees,
Okay,
the same month.
May I?
My suggestion there is we talk to Columbia City Utilities.
And I
May I
tried
say
that
something?
before.
And if you read the entire email, it said, if you have any issues with bills like this, talk to me and we will handle it accordingly. I put that at the end of the email. I'm talking about one specifically like that.
Okay.
We'll get them taken, they're not gonna be late, we'll get them taken care of. But it's just, I wanted everyone to get on a routine, okay, just like payroll, they're due this day, turn them in this day, don't turn them in throughout the entire, every day of the week. Because that's what's getting us behind, and it's been done before, so I don't know why, it's not being done now, But again, those ones like that, we will handle them and we will pay them, so they're not late. I mean, it'll get taken care of, so,
Okay, that's all. And sorry if I should have just contacted you. I
it's okay.
kept you guys out of it, I guess, so.
But I think, like Don said, we need to talk to the city also, because I know that's an issue for not just the sheriff's department.
Because Scott Jones has one like that too, or a couple, I think, that they send it out. I mean, we have to, we don't have a choice because they send it out so late, and I get that. I know we have ones like that. I'm not,
And we're trying not to do all of them
Right.
or several of them.
no,
You,
yeah. No, I know it happens, so.
Alrighty, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Okay, sorry, Brandon.
Last time I talked about our equipment needs and what we have here are specifications for a chip spreader. We're looking at, basically a $250,000 piece of equipment. I've heard that counties like Allen have used Ohio's state bid compared with the local distributor's quote, and their attorney found that was adequate to meet public purchasing requirements. I know our attorney's been busy, and I want to keep this moving forward, so I would propose that we just take bids based on these specifications. We'll have those bids due at the first February meeting. We'll open those bids and hopefully be able to award that, get it ordered. I'm told we're 90 to 120 days out, which we'll be fine if we get this piece of equipment. And for the audience, we're talking about a hydrostatically driven, four-wheel drive, self-propelled chip spreader, which is, you've got a distributor that sprays liquid asphalt and a chip spreader that drops stone on it.
Joanne, it's CHIP, just so, I want,
I said it's a zero-turn chip spreader.
no, I just wanted you to make sure you understood.
For on-road use.
From the country.
Yeah,
I always had the other kind at home.
yeah, me too.
So, I don't have the actual notice. I'll get that prepared. We have to publish it twice, a week before the meeting and a week between notices. We'll get that taken care of. Based on our research, there's probably only two companies that are gonna be able to meet these specifications. There's another distributor, that contacted us, but the equipment that they sell is only 15-foot maximum width, and we're looking for a variable width, so we can go full width chip sealing. The other company that it appears based on their website does do a variable width, they're in Arizona. I'm guessing it's not likely they're gonna be competitive or probably even bid, but I'm not your attorney, but I think we could probably do this under special purchasing, but it's just easier if we make sure our bases are covered and just do public bidding, and we'll have plenty of time to get the job done this summer. And I plan on, if you're good with this, going to council tomorrow and at least getting a straw vote. We don't have our budget approved for this year, but, so I can't say for sure that there's all that extra money out there, but, one way or another, we can make it work. If I gotta seal 10 or 20 less miles, we need the equipment. We'll make adjustments however we have to.
Okay, Brandon,
Yes.
if I recall right, you had a couple $100,000 for equipment purchases
Yes.
in the highways budget
Correct.
for 2017.
Yes.
So we're gonna be 60, 70,000 short to buy this thing. How do you, so the only thing we need to be concerned about is the extra 60 or 70,000, not the 200?
Correct. There is 200,000 budgeted. For this one piece of equipment, yes, we would be 60, call it 65,000 short. I would also like to request that did I give you the quote for the skid steer last time?
Yeah.
We could really use another skid loader to berm some more of these roads, because that's one thing we're still kind of chasing our tail with, is getting good drainage on some of these roads. That's something that, we could, well, if we had two, we'd get twice as much of it done and get out ahead. We really should be berming these roads before we chip seal them, because once you chip seal, now
That's
you gotta
right.
stay off of them for a while. And so we're gonna get as much berming done as we can before we start chip sealing, and if we had an additional skid loader, we'd get that much more done. So that'll be part of my request also. And that quote was for about 62,000. So call it 65 and
65.
265 is 330, and I got 200, so I'm gonna be asking for about 130.
But that's still gonna come, help me out. That still comes out of the highways budget.
All highway money, yep. First of the year, I think there was 500,000 in the cash page, so, I mean, I'm pretty sure that we'll be fine, but I just want everybody to know that this is what we want to do, and we're gonna get as much done as we can. and So,
Brandon, on this contract or the specs for the chip spreader, you've got successful bidder shall maintain a representative inventory of replacement parts and service facilities for servicing the equipment within 100 miles of the purchaser's main equipment yard. Is that going to limit you to?
well, I mean, there's more than one reason for that, and that's because if something happens, we're gonna want to be able to get it repaired quickly. The distributor for the main manufacturer of these is in Fort Wayne. So that's one of those things, I never want to limit. I would much rather get 3 really good quotes and then the next time get 3 even better quotes. This particular specialty equipment, is not likely that you could make that happen, is the thing.
Not that many manufacturers out there.
Yeah.
It's not like they sell thousands of these.
Right, exactly.
It's not a Chevy.
Exactly.
This is not a Chevy.
Yeah. I would still like us not consider the bond bank for the extra, for the 130, to save your money for other work. I mean, you have to pay for it, obviously.
Well, yeah, you gotta pay for it regardless. If we were hurting,
Yeah. Because you didn't have the money.
I could see that. We're not hurting, like I say.
Okay.
We had, I think, 500,000 at the end of the year,
Okay.
give or take. So we're not hurting.
Well, I mean, you will have to pay interest on the bonds. I get that.
Yeah.
We don't have to pay interest if we pay cash, so.
And there
Aren't there
could be,
initial cost on the bonds too, even though with the bond bank? I think it's shared expense instead of,
Yeah,
And-
what they
and-
do is they take a bunch of requests, like us and maybe other counties who want to buy stuff, and they put it all together,
Bundle 'em.
right? Isn't that the way they explained it to us that day?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
but they're still, you sharing the cost of the
Well, you do
initial.
have to, yep, pay your share, yep.
Yeah.
yep.
This is what I'm thinking about, because we're 90 to 120 days
Oh, that's
out.
true, that's true. You're about ready. I mean, we're not
So
that
I-
far from,
I don't have, never
they
dealt
can
with the bond
deliver,
bank,
right?
but,
Yeah.
pardon me?
they can deliver in that length of time.
That's what Pat told us, 90 to 120 days.
Okay.
My feeling on that bond thing, on the skid loader part, I wouldn't even consider it, but maybe
Okay.
something like the spreader, maybe you might think about it, because that's a 20 or
Oh, yeah, it
30
is.
year
It's a long-
lifetime.
Yep,
But the other, but probably,
yep. That's true.
probably it's not gonna work in our situation.
That's right, you're right.
Well, and so you know, I've mentioned it to at least one of you, if not two. I had State Representative Chris Judy in my office here last week, and we were talking about the session coming up and local road funding, and that's one of the hot topics. He's only one person, and I don't know what he's hearing, and he didn't promise me anything, but I've heard a lot of chatter from a lot of different sources, and I think they're gonna do something this year myself. So if they can do something to get us a little more money, I'm actually working, it's one of my big projects I'm working on right now, is pulling together some legitimate numbers to give Representative Judy to say, this is what we really need. I've already given him our revenue from 16 and our budget from 17. And if you look at those two numbers, we're about 400,000 short right off the bat, but I'm told there's more money coming. We're definitely gonna apply for some of that community crossings grant money. And so,
Brandon, have we got our asset list? Is that all taken care of then, or the plan, asset plan for the state?
no, that's another one of my big projects. We have to actually physically drive every section of road, every segment, every 1 mile segment or shorter. And we have to provide, the from and to, the length, the width, they call it a PASER rating from 1 to 10. And we have to take that data and prepare a plan. We have to have that plan submitted to and approved by LTAP, ultimately submitted with the application for a project to NDOT.
How much time have we got for that?
Interestingly, I asked that same question last week of LTAP and got an answer back today that it depends on how many get submitted. So,
My question to that would be, are you finding most counties doing this themselves or having consultants do it?
I think there's a good mix because some counties were already doing it. So there was no additional work for them. Some counties are actually doing this rating twice a year. Other counties were hit kind of off guard like we were, and they hurried and rushed and paid tens of thousands of dollars of consultants to have their roads rated and plans produced, so.
Heard some counties paid up to $60,000.
And, if you're getting $1 million, that's a sweet deal, but.
I'm thinking that might be a drop in the bucket for what we need. I mean, I don't know, I'm just,
Well, but you you have to understand the rules on this have been a moving target.
okay. Okay,
Originally, what I understand is you could use money that was returned to the counties from Lowit withholding.
yep,
Our share of that was, I want to say, 94,000.
Right.
and that was for the whole county. So we didn't get much, and for us to spend $60,000 or even $30,000 on a consultant to rush together a plan, you get what you pay for, and it just wasn't a good option for us. I didn't feel at the time. Now they said that. Well, they said originally you could put that money in your rainy day fund and use it towards your match. Well, now then after they, I'm assuming, caught some slack, they said, well, it could be any money in your rainy day fund. So, if we can find a way to put money in the rainy day fund, then we can use that for a match. But as it stands now, the most we could get is
Yeah.
either what we got back from Lowit or what we put in rainy
Sure.
day.
Sure.
So-
But I still say that's a silver lining, because what those counties got back was money that belonged to them.
Well,
You know what I'm
what they
saying?
got back from the Lowit, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we didn't get much back. That means we didn't give the state much either.
Well,
So-
yeah, but it means that there's less there for highway funding too.
Sure. We need to work and get that. I mean, I think you're definitely going the right direction on this thing.
Well, I got it figured. If we get this new chip spreader, and as long as we can get material, we can do 100 miles in about 5 weeks.
Spread it faster than we make it.
Yeah, buddy.
So, we've got time to get this all going, get it done, but we've got to keep each little piece, working. Any community crossings grant, matching grant funds, whatever they call it, that's what I'm told is going to come later in the year, basically for next year's use. So,
I think that will come after legislature's done.
yes,
So
yes.
I think we're going to get something. My concern, and I told Representative Judy this, Representative Dover, Senator Zay, is they're touting, it's a big deal at the state that they have more road funding. But what they're not telling you is, I think NDOT wants the biggest chunk of that pie. And I keep telling them, we need local road funding. Don't give it all to NDOT. Make sure your locals get a good share of that new money too, so.
Well, I shared with Chris that, we've got 2 trucks, dump trucks that are 2000 models, and I'm pretty sure there's one that's a 97 or 98. 03s I know we got. I mean, we've got aging equipment. We've got 2 loaders that are old, and this chip spreader that we're replacing is 1974. So, we're getting our use out of our equipment, but whether it's a car, a truck, or a chip spreader, the older it is, the more maintenance it requires, and then that's downtime and less production and more maintenance expense. And
Sure.
so that was one thing I shared with him. I let him know that we're predominantly chip sealed roads. We're not Allen County. Chip seal is our main surface treatment, and so I'm putting together some numbers for him so he knows what we need, and that is going to include more new equipment.
Is these 2 pieces you were talking about, do we need to consider them each one on their own, or put that together in a package?
It's up to you. It's up to you. You want to, you mean, do a favorable pass on each piece of equipment, not do
Well,
together?
that skid loader, they definitely need it because that berming needs to be done, and we're not
That's
keeping up at it.
That's right.
But you could have that skid loader in 2 weeks.
2 weeks,
Or
yeah.
2 days. It's not as urgent as this
You make the
spreader
motion.
is.
You go ahead and make the motion, we'll go from there.
You understand what I'm
Oh,
saying?
I do. I can live with either one, so however you wanna do it.
Well, I was asking for a little guidance, and you,
Okay, then do
Throw it
two,
back
then do
into-
two motions, because that's probably
Alright.
a better way to do it.
I move we give the kind of a favorable pass on the chip spreader.
Easy for you to say. I'll second that motion.
Got a motion, we've got a second. Any further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand, opposed the same. Okay.
And you gotta bring this before the council.
I'm gonna go to the council tomorrow, basically as just information, because I don't have hard numbers on the 17 budget yet. So I can't guarantee them that the
Well,
money's.
what did we pass?
1782 notices from the state. That's what he's referring
Oh,
to.
the one
We
from
haven't
the state.
received those
Yeah, we don't have a
yet.
1782,
Well,
but
I thought,
Right.
I thought when I was sitting on the council, we passed something.
Oh, you did, but the state
Yeah,
has to approve
haven't
it
gotten back
after
to
you
the
guys.
state.
Oh, this is, we're waiting on it from the state. Oh, I see it, thank you.
Welcome.
And at the end of the year, you had 428,000.
Is it only for my bad? Didn't mean to exaggerate.
Well, no, it's good. You
No,
got that much
it's
money.
great. Yeah, it's great.
Well, yeah, you don't want to run your cash page in the red, obviously. But we have a steady income.
Yeah, we get the monthly.
Right.
Okay, now, the skid loader you were talking about, you're probably not gonna use it this winter. You're not gonna do any berming this winter.
Well, it depends on what the weather does, to be honest.
Yeah, but you're not going out there in the mud, and if it's
Well,
froze,
no,
you're not going out there
definitely not,
either.
No,
Definitely
but
not.
there's snow moving little machines, though.
Yeah, I know they are.
There's snow movers, too.
They are, in fact.
Yeah,
we
I know
cleaned-
they are.
We cleaned the parking lots out with them. It was a lot easier.
I got
than-
one at home.
than what the city
They're
did.
great machines for that.
As soon as the weather allows, we'll be berming. We've got a long list of roads that we know that need bermed, so, whether we got one or two. And so, yeah, if we can get a favorable, I guess, well, if we go and buy a skid loader next week, we don't need the council's approval. If you say, go buy a skid loader next week and start berming as soon as you can with 2 skid loaders, we'll do it. And, because we've got 200,000 budgeted. It just means that we'd have 62,000 less when it comes to buying a chip spreader.
Yeah, you'd be 130,000 off.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think they're both incredible pieces of equipment, and we have to do it eventually.
I think at this point, we do a favorable pass and let the council decide
Yeah, I like that,
what their thoughts are on that, whether you should buy it now or not.
Yeah.
I move we approve the skid loader purchase also then.
Got a motion to approve the skid
Second.
loader, got a second, any further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand, opposed the same. Thank you, Brandon.
Okay, yep, thank you.
Gotta make me do all the dirty work.
Let's want to break in, right?
Just real quickly, we're also working on drain collections, which is upstairs, not down the street, which drains to collect. And I know we're over 100, but we got, call it 700 to look at, to pick from. When do you want that? March?
Probably,
Okay, we got time on that.
yeah.
We've also, we haven't actually started, but we've talked about working on GASB. We've got to do GASB also, which is our government asset reporting. So new for me will be roads and highway equipment. Going through that and making sure everything is current. So, working on getting data so we can get started on the Paisley rating. We started looking at, we have to do an annual report. We'll bring that to you February or March, I'll say, with all the expenses and revenue projects for the highway department. So, and then performance evaluations too. We're really excited about those, want you to know.
Good.
So that's all I got. Any questions for me?
No, but I'm gonna bring up a resolution that you might wanna hear.
Okay.
Is this the time? Okay. Sure. This was sent out by the Association of Indiana Counties, asking each county to participate in this. And this is a resolution of support funding Indiana's transportation infrastructure. Whereas Indiana's diverse economy is dependent upon both the combined state and local road network to move goods, consumers, workforce. And whereas Indiana is the crossroads of America and has enjoyed long-term economic benefits by exploiting our strategic geographic advantage, and whereas counties in Indiana are responsible for about 70% of the public roads in the state and about 70% of the bridges in the state, and whereas, according to Federal Highway Administration, rough pavements affect safety, fuel efficiency, vehicle wear, pavement durability, and whereas 77% of the paved county roads exceed the International Roughness Index threshold for rough pavement, thus reaching the IRA's break point for suggested improvement, and whereas all counties appreciate the incremental funding increases that the General Assembly has provided in recent years, the current revenue sources at both the state and local level have not kept pace with the cost of road and bridge construction, and whereas Indiana has one of the lowest per gallon gasoline taxes in the nation, and whereas all users of the Indiana state and local road network should pay their share to maintain and upgrade that same road network, and whereas the future of transportation infrastructure funding will necessarily be a broad-based solution that reflects the use of the system while reducing reliance on dwindling revenue sources. And whereas safety is a primary concern and responsibility of local governments across Indiana, yet the injury crash rate on local roads in Indiana is more than twice the injury crash rate on experienced state roads. Now therefore be it resolved that the Whitley County Board of Commissioners or County Council urge the Indiana General Assembly to identify and approve legislation that provides sustainable and long-term increases to Indiana's transportation funding, which includes necessary increases in state funding of local road and bridge infrastructure. Furthermore, the Whitley County Board of Commissioners directs the auditor to send a copy of this resolution to Representative David Ober, Representative Christopher Judy, Senator Andy Zay, Governor Eric Holcomb, and Lieutenant Governor Suzanne Crouch. So I'd like to present that and make a motion that we approve the resolution.
Okay, we've got a motion for approval of this resolution.
Second.
Got a second? Any further discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same.
Well, that was a lot of reading for a little bit of action.
Can I add that you might also send that to State Senator Pro Tem President David Long?
David Long?
Because he is my representative, my senator.
Ooh, sorry about that. Yep. I forget that. You're kind of like over this to us. We have,
Union East, Jefferson East, right? Or Jefferson
I missed what
West?
you said.
You're Union, you're
No, I missed
Jefferson
what you
West.
said before.
Yeah, Senator Long
Oh, yes, yeah.
is.
your senator?
No.
No,
Stanley?
you're not in
You're
that.
West?
I'm
Jefferson West?
I'm West.
Okay, yeah. Jefferson East, Union East is Long.
Yes.
Well, yeah, thank you for that. We couldn't do all we do without your support, so.
Well, and we thank you for working with Representative Judy on this also.
Yeah, thank you very much for that.
Thank you. Anything else?
Oh, I think, no, we're gonna get some money out of them, but you don't know if it's gonna be $50 or you know, or 500,000, I think, but they're on a mission to give us a little.
Yeah, that's their main focus this year.
The amount's the discussion part.
I think we can be guaranteed of a gas tax increase.
Well, somebody might have said, we'll start at 10, and it could quickly go to 5, and then if you end up with NDOT getting 2 cents and locals getting 2 cents, that, you know, you could count that as somewhat of a success. And if that's the case,
Yeah.
that's 4 cents, where we're getting 16 or 18 now, whether it's gas or diesel, call it a quarter, 25% increase. You're talking,
You don't think that dime's got a chance of passing?
I would be surprised if it does. It would put us right in line with Ohio if it did. But, you know, nobody wants to raise taxes. Tommy, you know that.
But you
guys-
know what, the chances, I just read this the other day from one of the Democratic state senator reps. He said, it's not an election year. So it makes it a little easier when it's not an election year.
There you go, see?
I don't know if I agree with him, but you know, I get it. He kind of felt like there'd be some good road funding coming along.
Well, it just happened within the last week. Again, gas prices went up 10 cents a gallon.
Yeah.
Here locally.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I only got $30 instead of filling up. I grumbled a little bit, but I moved on. If they would raise the gas tax 10 cents, the first time everybody got gas, they would grumble, and then
Sure,
they would
absolutely.
forget about it.
Well, shoot, the market fluctuates more than that every week.
That's
Exactly.
exactly right, Tommy. That's exactly right.
I agree.
Yep.
Went up 20-some yesterday.
The alternative ways that they're looking at, I don't like at all. They're looking at that mileage tax.
Yep.
How you ever gonna,
Toll roads.
You have to create a
They
new
create a
bureaucracy.
bureaucracy for
You know
that.
how
Yeah.
much it would cost to create a toll road?
Oh, and then the
I mean,
toll
to take
road.
65 or 69 and make it a toll road, it'd cost you bazillions of dollars to do
They're talking
that.
That's the
about
two ways
But
they're
I
looking
do
at.
believe that the non-fuel vehicles that use the road still need to pay their fair share, though. I really do.
That's why they were looking at that mileage tax.
Yeah. I don't know how they'd ever get that done and be equal. But,
take more to police than would they
oh
gain?
my gosh, that'd be awful.
Well, we'd have to go back to annual inspections. Remember when we had to do that?
No, check your
To check your mileage, yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Brandon.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank you.
Brandon.
Okay, let's look at minutes. Has everyone had a chance to take a look at the minutes?
Probably not as well as I should have.
They look good to me, but I don't know what you did the last
No, that's
meeting.
right, that's true.
And you know what? And I forgot to change that.
You have a change?
The name, it's Tom Rufflet
Yeah.
instead of.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but he can't. It's appropriate
Right.
for this meeting. Now, the next meeting, you need
It
to
won't
change
be.
it. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Down now, let's do the other ones.
I guess I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes.
Okay, I've got a motion, I'll second. Any further discussion? All those in favor of the minutes, raise your right hand, opposed, the same. Thank you.
Get off easy today, but not
All
next
right.
meeting, Buster.
Okay, let's look at the claims real quick.
I would make a motion that we pay the payroll claims.
Okay, we've got a motion to accept the payroll claims.
Second,
I've got a second. Any further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand, opposed, the same. Okay, let's look at the check claims.
And I don't know how to, I honestly don't know how to deal with this. I'm actually gonna go sign claims when we're done here with the meeting.
can we approve them after they're signed?
You,
I mean, can we approve them
You
now
could
with
approve
that
them.
stipulation?
I would guess so. I don't honestly know. I don't honestly know, but I don't know how else you're gonna do it.
Yeah,
if
I
you-
think with the
if you're
stipulation,
gonna have
That there are
as long as
signed.
they are approved by
Okay.
Commissioner Amber.
Okay,
I'll make that motion in the form of a motion.
I'll
Okay.
second it.
We've got a motion to approve claims pursuant to Commissioner Amber looking at the claims and signing claims. Any further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Okay.
Does Tom not sign?
Oh, yeah, no, yeah.
I'm sorry. Does he sign and change the name, or?
Yeah, you can.
Well,
Because he has
I-
copies of the docket.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. It's like he knows it, he may just have.
It's fine.
What do you want me to sign? My name or his?
Oh, yeah, no, yours, no, yours. Yeah.
And I'll change it.
Thank you.
Okay, Pam.
I just have one thing. Holiday schedule from the 4 and 2. There was another request for a change from Chief Deputy. The very top there, Monday, January 2nd, is crossed out because of the 4-2 schedule. He requested to change the 2nd to January 1st, Sunday, 2017.
2018, right?
2017.
This is still for 17.
This is still for 17. There's another
It's a
change.
change from second change.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's gone, that's passed.
I
So we're doing
realize
it
that.
retroactively?
Yeah, I guess. I received this email Tuesday, January 3rd.
Oh, I
Guess
see
I
what
don't
you're
have one.
saying.
Yeah, it is. It's retro.
It's gone, it's
It's gone,
passed.
it's passed.
I was gonna say, it's 2017.
What do you
just
think,
did.
will that have any effect on payroll and what they're already doing?
I mean, if you guys want to just approve the change, but I mean, I think
Payroll
it
for
was
this hasn't been
just-
processed yet, so it shouldn't affect.
I'll make a motion, we change, we
that
we
works.
change the date then.
Okay, we got a motion to approve the change from January 2nd to January 1st for the
I second it.
holiday schedule for the 4-2. Got a second. Any further discussions?
Yeah, what about, on Monday was the federal holiday also. What do you do about both days? They just get one.
They just, this would be applying to the 4 and 2, and they would just get one. The 5 and 2 will recognize Monday as the holiday, our regular, the
Yeah, see, we have to do a
employees.
5 and 2 and a 4 and 2.
Yeah, we have to do 2 separate schedules.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank
these
you.
are
Yes.
4 and 2 here we're doing, so.
So they,
Because they work 7 days a week
Yeah.
for their,
Yeah.
the offices, their staff.
All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same.
Thank you, that's all I had.
That's, thank you, but that still seems weird.
well, it'll work as long as they haven't been paid yet.
Yeah.
What I have, Jarrell
Gotta
brought
do daytimer.
this. Jarrell brought this over to me on Thursday. Is the interlocal agreement the same one that we've always had between the county
Yep.
and solid waste?
Yep.
It's just changing, like they're still collecting the $53, which you guys probably already know. But then the county is getting reimbursed $2 per dwelling, which I think is what the solid waste board decided last year.
Right.
So, the
If you
solid
look,
waste.
we've already signed it as board
Yes,
members.
and I was gonna say, that was my next comment. Solid waste has already signed it. So I just need approval by you guys, and then I need to take it to council tomorrow for approval, it looks like. And then I need to sign it, and so does Laurel. So,
That is sort of the only difference is solid waste is paying the county $2 now to process the bills. I'd make a motion, I guess I'll make a motion, we approve it. I might have made the motion down there to approve it, so. I'll make a motion, we approve the
Okay,
interlocal
we got a
agreement.
motion to approve the interlocal agreement.
Second.
Got a second. Any further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you.
thank you.
I need to sign that.
Yep.
So 16 bit.
Yeah, I'll change that. And that was it for me, except those.
Yeah,
So
I'll do
big
those
deal.
when
Yeah,
it
okay.
comes to me.
Sounds good.
Commissioner, do you have anything?
Or not yet.
Questions?
Well,
Commissioner Amber?
no, as I said, I apologize. I probably didn't read this as well as I should have. However, I did recall seeing in here that we tabled the minutes under the matter of the county attorney state the commissioners tabled the Winger agreement until the next meeting. I guess I would make a motion that we table the, no, wait a minute, this was because we had the wrong verbiage. Never mind. We took care of that, sorry. The change was the name, that's my bad, my bad. No, I have nothing, thank you. Well, you're gonna talk about the,
Yeah, why don't we talk about that right now?
okay.
Board
Do you have a
assignments.
list of the committees?
No,
Should be
I
in
do
there.
not.
Okay.
Do you need me to get you one? Okay.
Please.
Is there any chance we could take like a 2-minute break?
Let's take a 5-minute break.
Thanks. For Christ's sakes, we've been here an hour. Union Rule says.
Yeah, Tom, sorry, you should have had one. They had it in theirs.
Well, I didn't find it.
Get it from him, Jim.
Yeah, we hit it.
Pardon me? Maybe I'm just not smart enough to know what that button wasn't working.
No, you're okay. Is it in here? No? What? Oh, my.
Well, you gotta take care of it. Let's find it for me. Oh, there it is. Thank you. You did hide it in there.
I did.
And he's got it.
Jana, can I get copies of the things that you have up here?
The ones we're gonna discuss?
And it helps me when I write, because I'm not, a little bit out of my turf yet.
Oh, you'll be good.
Trying.
Thanks. Perfect.
Here's another part of it.
Thank you.
Okay. Did you need that?
And that will completely change once the council meets
You
tomorrow.
found yours, Tom? Yeah, he's got his.
The commissioner assignments will be what we come up with in the yellow
Yeah.
for today, but the
Oh, is
council
that the
will
one
meet.
that's at 8 AM tomorrow?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'm coming to that one. So,
And I'll make a